everyone, and welcome back to Cinematic Universe. My name is Ernesto Martinez. Luc Besson's Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It's his latest directorial effort. One of the, if I'm being honest, one of the most beautiful movies to grace the theater this year. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets tells a simple, straightforward story that, in the fictional world of this movie, mankind builds a space station, and every single ethnic group, race, and country on Earth decides to build this space station and come together and be, a singular human voice in space. And as the years go by, I want to say that this movie goes up to the 28th century in this timeline. As the years go by, not only does the space station, grow with every single human, but it also grows when they attract the attention of dozens upon dozens upon dozens, and practically, as the title suggests, thousands of, alien races, and then they create the universe that's called Alpha, where it has, this massive world, and you have different type of species. And because the space station grew too big to sustain itself, and it could have caused an issue on planet Earth, the space station is hurled all the way into the mass void of the galaxy. And then our movie picks up. We have Dane DeHaan as Major Valerian, and we have Cara Delevingne as Sergeant Lorelei. Now, right off the bat, the basic premise of this movie is that they both have a mission, and that mission is to, search this alien race who is causing a problem on Alpha, and they have to neutralize the situation. And as they continue their mission, they figure out that not everything is as it seems, and there's more to the mission that they've been given than they realize. It's a pretty straightforward script. And it's something that you haven't seen before in the past, but it's something that has always been constant, or at least one of the key story concepts that has been very prevalent in a lot of sci-fi, stories. And this one is no different. Is it, like I said earlier, is it a good movie? I'd say it's a pretty decent movie. It's something that I would recommend seeing in the movie theater because of how gorgeous it is. And it is gorgeous. I mean, I saw this article the other day that said that Valerian features at least almost 2,400 visual shots in this movie. How to say visual effects shots, and more than 600 than any other high budget movie. So they really show you how much hard work they threw into this movie, the level of craft that went into designing all the creatures in this movie, whether it's CGI or whether it's actual legitimate costume designs. There is a lot of makeup art in this movie. Like, I would be surprised if Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets doesn't get a nomination for best visual effects and for best art, makeup, production design, set design, and stuff like that. It totally deserves the nomination and the recognition. But there is some problems with this movie. There's not a problem with the director. There's not a problem with the story itself. The problems, at least the main problem that I found with this movie, is the lead cast. Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne. They're okay in this movie, but they're not fluid with each other. There's really no chemistry with the two of them. There's just nothing about them that makes it seem like these two should be, a pair in this movie, whether it's either romantic or friendship and stuff like that. There's just nothing about these two that sells the movie. And it's one of those situations where if you look at a movie like Independence Day or the original Fifth Element or Speed with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, one of the reasons why those movies work, aside from the spectacle and the execution and stuff like that, one of the reasons why those movies work is because of the actors. And this movie desperately needed like a Bruce Willis or a Will Smith or an Arnold Schwarzenegger from Total Recall or a Keanu Reeves and a Sandra Bullock from Speed. A movie like this can work, but you also have to sell the audience on who your leads are. And the biggest crime that this movie commits is not the story, it's not the designs, it's not the visuals, it's just its two leads. The second crime that this movie has is not even the movie itself, is whoever decided to market this movie. Now, I understand, and it's very impressive that Luc Besson was able to finance this movie practically independently by going through investors and stuff like that. So you can kind of see it as an independently financed movie, and expensive as hell finance movie, at least 190 million euros or close to 200 million dollars, domestic American dollar wise. And it's a pretty expensive movie, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, be taking risks and stuff like that, but this is a big risk for a movie, this expensive. And one of the main complaints that I had about this movie before it came out was that there was barely any marketing. Yes, I knew the movie was coming out because I've seen the first couple of trailers, but it never felt like it was in your face marketing. Like, it never felt like you were aware that this movie was being advertised to you. And I feel that that's one of the reasons why this movie won't be as successful in the US as I imagine it will be overseas. I feel this movie will be successful overseas, but I don't know by how much because, again, it's a huge price tag. But like I said, overall, it's a good movie, but its main issues is I don't know how much people are going to see it. It might receive like a cult status after it comes out. It'll probably make its money over time. It might make its money in home rentals. It might make its money on, selling contracts to Netflix, Amazon, or HBO and stuff like that. But like I said, the cast as well doesn't really work. They might be okay separately or doing other work, but in this movie, these Dehan and Delavigne, they don't work, so that's another big issue. This movie could have used, like I said, an actor like a Bruce Willis type, or a Sandra Bullock, or a Keanu Reeves and stuff like that. Actors that, really sell it, because one of the things that I really came across this movie that I didn't really buy is, the movie is about Valerian and Lorelai, so I don't know why the movie is called Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Yes, the City of a Thousand Planets plays a big role in this movie, but another title for this movie could have been Valerian and Lorelai, and just run with it because it is about the two of them. And not only do these two not have that much chemistry in the movie, but I don't buy that Dane DeHaan is fitting the mold of a character who's supposed to be experienced and the best at what he does, and especially Cara Delevingne as the sergeant, who is almost on par with his skill set. I think a much more mature, older couple in this movie would have worked better. But overall, do I still recommend seeing this movie in the theater? Yes, I do. And like I said, it's good. So that's my review for Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. You can follow me on Twitter at MartinezXYZ, and you can find my Facebook space, Cinematic Universe Ultimate. Bye-bye, guys.